The echo of laughter still rang in Emma's ears, each snicker a tiny dagger twisting in her chest. She stood frozen, tray still clutched in her hands, looking at the retreating figures of her tormentors. How could she have known? She'd picked up the shift to help the restaurant owner, Mrs. Henderson, whose son was sick. But she hadn't imagined she'd be left alone on the night shift with 8 tables of rowdy, drinking customers. And now they were gone, leaving her amidst the mess they'd made. Emma sighed, the tension draining from her shoulders. This was supposed to be a night off. She'd hoped to spend it curled up with a book, sipping hot chocolate. Instead, she was surrounded by 8 empty sticky tables and a pile of dirty dishes. As she began to clean, a deep voice startled her. "Leave it." She jumped, turning to find a man standing behind her. He was tall and broad-shouldered, his features hidden in the shadows of his cap. Startled, Emma stammered, "But you need to clear your table." The man stepped closer. "I already paid," he said, stepping aside to reveal the table behind him. It was littered with empty beer bottles and food scraps. Emma felt a flush creep up her neck. She couldn't tell if he was flirting or being rude. Maybe both. She managed a shaky laugh. "Well, Mr. Daniel," he said, meeting her gaze. "Daniel, no need to call me Mr. anything." He grinned, dimples crinkling at the sides of his mouth. Emma felt her cheeks warm. "Oh, okay." As Emma cleared their table, their fingers brushed, sending a jolt through her. Was he doing this on purpose? He seemed nice enough, but there was something about him. Maybe the way he looked at her, the way he lingered just a bit too long at the counter while she cleaned their table. It made her uneasy. When he left, Emma found herself constantly glancing at the door, wondering if he'd come back. As the night wore on, she kept busy, wiping down tables and restocking supplies, trying not to think about the handsome stranger. Suddenly, the bell above the door chimed, bringing her back to the present. She turned to see Daniel walking in, a bouquet of flowers in his hands. Her heart skipped a beat. Were these for her? Before she could dwell on the thought, he was beside her, holding out the flowers. His cheeks were flushed, his hair tousled as if he'd been running his fingers through it. "For you," he said, his usual grin replaced by a shy smile. I didn't know what kind of flowers you liked, so I got you these." Emma felt a warmth spread through her chest. "Oh, they're beautiful," she whispered, taking the flowers. A comfortable silence settled between them, and Emma found herself relaxing, enjoying his presence. Maybe it was silly, but she felt safe with him. Suddenly, Daniel spoke, breaking the quiet. I may have mentioned this before, but you're very pretty." Emma blushed, her heart doing a little dance in her chest. "Thank you," she murmured. "And I like you, Emma." His words hung in the air between them, and Emma felt her breath catch. She wanted to say she liked him too, but the words wouldn't come out. Before she could respond, the sound of footsteps made her jump. Startled, she turned to see Mrs. Henderson standing in front of them, a worried expression on her face. "Daniel, you're back early," she said, relief washing over her features. "Mom," Daniel said, his voice a mixture of annoyance and fondness. "What are you doing here?" Mrs. Henderson turned to Emma, her eyes widening. "Oh, I'm so sorry," she exclaimed. "I didn't realize you were here, Emma." "Daniel told me you were covering for me tonight, but I didn't expect him back so soon." She turned to Daniel. "I'm sorry. I should have called and told you. I'm so disorganized with everything going on with the diner and Richard's illness." "It's all right, Mom," Daniel said, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "I just got back early because I wanted to see you and, well, I brought Emma these flowers." Mrs. Henderson turned back to Emma, her eyes shining with understanding. "Oh, Emma, these are beautiful," she said, reaching out to take them. "Thank you." Emma felt a blush creep up her neck. She looked up at Daniel, his eyes twinkling with amusement. Mrs. Henderson squeezed Emma's hand. "Emma, dear, thank you for helping out at the diner. You're such a lifesaver." "Of course, Mrs. Henderson," Emma replied, smiling. As the night deepened, Emma found herself torn between her feelings for Daniel and her loyalty to Mrs. Henderson. She knew she needed to be honest with Daniel, but how could she possibly tell him the truth without hurting him? And as the clock ticked away the hours, Emma realized she had a decision to make that would change her life forever.